We know that there's a good vibes in the air. There's a good feeling about this West Indies cricket team. A lot of persons are excited. I have been hearing persons comparing this team with the 2016 team. When you heard those stories, whichever side of the debate you are on, you know that something good is happening. As West Indies look to take on England in their first Super 8 match tonight at the Darren Sammy Oval, I've invited Basil Butcher and Joel Bailey to preview the match for me. Good evening, Basil. Welcome to the show.
Good evening, Carlton. Good evening to your viewers, your wonderful viewers around the world.
Yes, I saw Joel in the studio just now, but he's not there, so I do not know what happened, but he was there. Basil, what are your expectations from the match tonight?
Um, I'm there's some things I want to see because I haven't seen them as yet. Um, in the West Indies play. I want to see how we would be able to withstand very key moments in the game, pressure moments in the game. That is an area I want to see because from now on through to the World Cup final, and if we get there, that kind of performance in those situations are going to be key to our victory. So I'm looking to see that because tonight I'm expecting a serious battle between us and England. I think they're two very much evenly matched teams. And we will have to play the full 40 overs, both batting and bowling, and executing on a high level tonight for us to win. So I am expecting to see West Indies to do so.
Joel Bailey, who has worked with the Nation News in Trinidad for over 20 years and is now a freelance sport reporter. Good afternoon, Joel. Welcome to the show.
Hi, good evening. Good evening here in Trinidad. But just a correction is Newsday, not Nation. Nation is in Barbados.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for that, Joel. What are your expectations this evening going into this match?
Well, obviously, expecting a West Indies victory, expecting a close fight between two, we could literally say, evenly matched teams. And also expecting a good crowd in St. Lucia. Don't mind it's a weekend day, but expecting a good crowd and a good atmosphere. Seeing that the business side of the tournament has arrived. So a good match this morning and expecting a good match this afternoon. Please, this evening, please go.
Basil, you said that there are some things that you would want to see. Know that, as Joel put it just now, we are at the business end of the tournament.
Correct.
Itemize those things for me, Basil.
One, I want to see us in the middle overs, execute better from a batting perspective, up in that run rate. I want to see better running between the wickets. I also want to see us. I want to see when we get put in. I want to see if we do get put in some very tight situations, both from a batting and bowling perspective, that we're able to get ourselves out of it. I mean, to use an example, if you looked at the game earlier today, USA looked at with 2 overs to go, looked like they could upset South Africa, and then Mr. Rabada ran in and bowled a brilliant over and pretty much shut the door. Those are the kinds of things I want to see our bowlers in particular, if we get in those situations, able to do.
Okay, thank you very, very much for that, Basil. So when you look at our batting, Basil, do you have any concern about our batting?
Um, you know, I can't say concern because why I would not say concern because I know what the characteristics of our batters are. So to say concern at this stage is not what I would the term I would use. I would more say I will hope that we can execute or I expect our batters to be able to execute their strengths. What I would want to see though in any given situation where we in a tight situation as a batting unit, that we don't try to hit our way out and to play smart cricket. I've seen it so far in the tournament, we have had this tendency to want to hit our way out. In Trinidad the other day, Mr. Sharfin Rutherford played a match winning inning, and I would want to see some of that kind of application in the event we get ourselves in a tight spot and to work a way out to either win the game or put up a good total.
Thank you very much. Basil have listed some things that he would like to see happen in this match, Joel. Joel, what are some of those things that you would like to see West Indies execute in this match?
At least a half century. Are you hearing me?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm hearing you, yeah, man.
Oh, okay, just sorry, mic was unmuted. For starters, I'd like to see at least a half century opening stand. I'd like to see King get back in among the runs. Those are two things I would like to see, and I also like to see the pace bowlers. Well, not so much Alzari Joseph, but Shepherd, who I think should be back. Shepherd and Russell among the wickets. So far, they have been getting a wicket here and a wicket there, but I would like to see them among the wickets, taking some of the pressure off the spin pair of Gudakesh Moti and Aki Hussain.
And Basil, do you think that West Indies have a genuine chance of winning the match tonight? Who you think is the favorite for this match tonight, Basil? I you think we are going in as the favorite?
Um, I have to give I would give England the slight edge simply because England England is the world champions and they got that pedigree behind them. This team, despite all the talks, remind of us 2016 and all of that, this team has not been in the same situations like the English team because they had to win the World Cup, right? So based on that experience in the English team, I would give them the slight edge.
Um, Joel, don't you think that probably this English team is probably a little over the hill? Would you make them favorite, as Basil said there that he has made them favorite?
Over the hill in terms of the bowling, because you could see, besides Archer, the other regular bowlers like Topley, Jordan, with some Topley or Jordan, Ali, Rashid, and Wood, all them out in the 30s. The batting, their batting is still formidable. You still have Salt and top. You have Livingston, Brook, Bairstow in the middle order. You even have Duckett in reserve. So their batting is still strong, but I could say the bowling, you could say in an extent, the bowling may be a little bit on the decline, but you can't write them off. They are world champions. They have been, a number of their players have been in the IPL and playing franchise tournaments for a number of years, so they have what it takes to put up a good show in this evening.
Basil, clearly you have said that you are putting England as the favorite.
Yes, slight
What
favor.
what West Indies need to do to win this match then?
Um, One, I agree with Joel in our opening pair. I want to see coming out the power play no less than 50 and no less and nothing more than one maximum one wicket down. Right? I don't want nothing more than one wicket down. I agree with Joel. I would like to see Mr. King bat a little more responsibly because King at times seemed to think that he got to run down the wicket and hit balls all over the place when he's a free scoring batsman. If King plays his normal style, he will score. He will score runs. And I think King needs to look to hit boundaries rather than sixes because he getting caught too much out when the same ball he could hit along the ground for four. So I would like to see Mr. King bat like Mr. King and not somebody else that I can't fathom who is this person batting.
And the issue of King Basil, that is very important because you don't see King not playing for the rest of the tournament. So we want King to play. They are not going to drop him.
Correct.
Yes, so we definitely want to see him play. Joel, who is the biggest threat on that England team to West Indies tonight?
In terms of bowling or in terms of bowling or in terms of batting or in both?
No, the biggest threat. Either if you want to give one for bowling, it's fine. If you want to give one for batting, it's fine. If you want to give two, it's okay. Who do you think?
I think Archer. In terms of his raw pace, I think Archer.
Archer. Basil, on the batting side, who do you think is the biggest threat to the West Indies?
Mr. Butler.
Mr. Butler. What about Phil Salt? He
Yeah.
scored 100.
Phil Salt is a serious man. But
Yes.
Mr. Butler has shown he can start and he can bat straight through to the 20 and make 100 with a serious strike rate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the batter I fear the most in the English team, Mr. Butler. If we could get Mr. Butler early o'clock, I will feel a lot better with Mr. Butler at the pavilion.
Based on what we have seen, gentlemen, on Monday night, and I'm asking both of you this question. If you are the captain and you win the toss tonight, what would you do? Go ahead first, Joel.
I'll bowl first. I think West Indies better strength, at least for the past 10, 15 years, especially in T20 cricket, is bowling first and chasing. I think that should be the approach this evening. Weather permitting.
Basil, what would you do if you win the toss?
That's an interesting question because West Indies seems to me, looking at this team, I know Joel said in more, but just looking at from this tournament, it seemed to me when we batted first, for the most part, not the games in Guyana because those pitches and so on, but the game in this game in St. Lucia on a wicket where our batters like to come out and they could blast, they seem to be more comfortable batting first, put up a big score, and then be able to have the bowlers try to put the pressure, knowing they got a big score back in them. Because we probably, if we want to say the strength of our team, is probably our batting, and I think that strength is more is able to get the job done more if we post a big score. So the bowling unit got a nice big score behind them, but it's a toss-up.
Yeah.
There are those that argue that, when we bat last, we could do better than those who bat first. But I think on this pitch, based on what I saw on against St. Lucia, if we win the toss, they're gonna bat first. We gonna bat first.
Yes, I would definitely, if I win the toss, I would definitely bat first. I want to see the runs on the board. I want to see scoreboard pressure. So I would definitely bat first
and then to add to that, we know the type of conditions already because we just played. It's not like you're going into like if we were going into Antigua or Barbados where we haven't played and don't have the same knowledge, because now these days in the West Indies you can't say, boy, I played it last year. These pitches got this history, so I could bank on that, right? But we know the conditions already. We played there, so there is no mystery for us. I think if we win the toss, I think we would bat first.
Joel, what are your thoughts on scoreboard pressure? You said bat second, but What are your thoughts on batting first and putting the score on the board and adding that scoreboard pressure?
It's not a bad option, but I think I think with this English team, I strongly believe you set them a target, especially since these are not conditions you're 100% familiar with, because even though a lot of them have played in West Indies, they are still based in England. So I think we should take advantage of the pitch, the early moisture, take advantage of it, get the runs on the board, and if the pressure deteriorate, then the wholesale multi factor will come into play. Or even chase plays. If the pitch started to take some turn, because remember they have two formidable spinners in Ali and Rashid. So that's another reason to why I think that if West Indies when we thought they should bat first and see if our spinners slash slow bowlers could take advantage of a deteriorating wicket.
Quickly, Joel, any changes to the team that played on Monday night?
Yeah, go back to the regular 11 who started the first few games. I personally, I would have liked to see who win the team from the start, but Chase hasn't disgraced, and he's also a bowling option. And with all due respect to Obed McCoy doesn't offer what Shepard offers every bat.
Okay.
And
And Basil, I saw you bowing heavily there. You are in agreement with that, Basil?
I'm in full agreement. We go back to our 11. The selectors felt that was our best 11. All the people calling for dropping this person and that person, and that game didn't have anything in it for us. It didn't make a change. I was surprised. I would have also played Joseph and let Russell take a rest to just in case to see what Joseph what he could bring in these conditions that you could have some thoughts in terms of you matching up with England. I was surprised they didn't even play Joseph also with what's his name
Obed McCoy.
with McCoy, yeah, and let Russell take a rest.
At the start of the show, I said that there have been talk that there have been comparison between this team and the 2016 team, which in its sense, Basil, it's a good thing that there's some talk being generated. It's people are once again becoming more and more interested in cricket. So I welcome the talk, Basil. But is there any comparison between the two teams? Which one would you give the edge?
I gave the team in 2016. They won a title, and that team had some batters, namely one Mr. Gill, who is the most devastating opening batter in this format. We had a bowler in Mr. Bravo that we know we could throw the ball and have the expectation that Mr. Bravo could come and stem the runs and bowl in the depth. We had a leg spinner that almost it seems every time he bowled in the power play, he had an early breakthrough. We I don't want to get into compare. The team remind me of this, and it's all different circumstances. It's nice that chat is coming up because we, as you correctly said, people getting more interested and feel good about this West Indies team that for us to go and win a World Cup in our backyard would be the first time it's done in the T20 format. All those good vibes to the West Indies, and as Joel said, I am expecting a sellout crowd tonight. Regardless, it's a weeknight. People gotta go to work in the morning, but I expect to see St. Lucia hopping and noise making and so on. God, this is every match now. You have to treat it like you're playing a final because as we said earlier, is the business end of the tournament. You can't afford to slip at all.
Joel, what are your thoughts? Is this a better team than the 2016 team?
I think the 2016 team is better in terms of the fact that you had proven T20 players there. You had Badri, you had, Pollard was injured. You had
Yeah.
Dwayne Bravo,
Mhm.
you had Ramden, You had Johnson Charles was opening
Gale.
with Fletcher. Gale, you had Gale. And Admiral Fletcher came in as a replacement, but those guys were consistent in terms of the regional format. So also had Suleiman Ben. You had you had players who were formidable. I'm not saying that the players we have now are good, but we had players then who would draw cards in any T20 format, any T20 franchise worldwide. So that's why I will
Okay.
give the 2016 team the edge.
All right. Thank you much.
And then we forgot, we both forgot to mention the match winning Mr. Marlon Samuels.
The Marlon Samuels, Carlos Brathwaite, Andre Russell. Well,
Yeah.
two players from that playing 11 is in this team, plus the coach was the captain. Then, 48 not out is making a very good point here. We should not support West Indies based on players selected, but because they are representing the Caribbean. I agree with you, and I just want to quote Nilo Alexander here and put it into perspective. Nilo, you'll realize that when we're talking about teams that play international cricket, we usually said high CC member. A number of persons believe that the West Indies is the only multi-country team that is a member of the ICC. It is not so. There are more than one. Even England, who we are playing tonight, is the England and Wales Cricket Board. England is also a multi-country team. And whether we are a multi-country team or a singular country like Australia, there'll always be controversy over selection. And we always going to have this conversation, right, Basil?
I agree. Selection, being a selector is one of the most thankless jobs, and even more so when you're doing it in the Caribbean, because you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So you as a selector always got to get your eyes focused on, for example, in our opinion, this is the best team. We look at all the options, etc. And in our opinion, this is the best team. You're going to get fires regardless of what. And so that's par for the course, you know. So we always, even in sport here in the United States where I live, when they're doing the draft to the teams and you got the fans for the different teams show up to the draft and your team draft a player you didn't think, all the fans get wild and booing the person who they drafted and all that. So, and these folks, they go into great detail and scouting and all these things before they choose a player. But the fans might got somebody they want more than what the team is looking for, and they're gonna carry on, and that's par for the course. You can't be worried about that.
Thank you very much, Juna Benjamin, for tuning in. The legendary Juna Benjamin. Juna Benjamin has always been here with us from day one. You know, Juna came to Trinidad and I never saw you. You promised me some curry when I come to Trinidad, but I never got any. Joel, Juna is your countryman. He's saying that Russell Jew, King Jew, Shepherd Jew, the Captain Jew, so there's no need to panic. Do you think that some of these guys are going to definitely come good tonight?
I think Russell should.
You have to turn down the noise in your background, Juna. Please.
Getting better now?
All right, go ahead, please.
All right. Yes. I think Russell will come good, especially with the fact that it's more primarily a pace-oriented English attack. I think Russell will come good. I think King too. I think King may realize that as Hope has scored a few runs on Monday, that if King slips up, that Hope may challenge for his place. And Rothman Powell also as well too. I think, as I said, with a more pace-heavy bowling attack, I think that those three Jamaicans, in fact, King, Russell, and Rothman Powell will indeed step up to this evening.
Thank you very much. Basil, I see the champion saying that you are going to make 230 and vote out England for 180 tonight.
Well, I love that happen.
Yeah?
I would love for that to happen.
We will definitely love for that to happen. And
Here,
yes,
Carlton, if that happens, Mr. Champion, we have to ask him to give us the lotto numbers.
yes, if that happened, Kensington Oval cannot hold Friday night. If that happened, eh? Yeah,
Yes,
yes,
yes, yes.
yes. So the Shinsuke Makuruma, that sounds like somebody from Africa, is saying that he believes, just like you too, Basil, that England is going into this match as the favorite. So Basil, you have somebody agreeing with you. West Indies is going to beat England, said Adrian Lesman. So the chat is very positive. Let's hear what Kirk has to say. Mr. Cricket Forum, the king is batting. He feels like he's undroppable, but we have hope and admire to replace him because no player is undroppable. Basil, for this World Cup and probably for the foreseeable future, King is really not going to be dropped right now.
No, no.
Yeah,
I think that the selectors, in my view, when they chose to have Hetmeyer on the bench in the squad instead of Mayers, the selectors were saying we feel very comfortable with this opening pair of King
right,
and,
right.
Johnson Charles, that we feel we're going to run with them through the whole tournament, irrespective of, and we know in T20 cricket, one of the things, consistency in terms of scoring runs from a batting perspective, is not going to always be there because of the high risk nature of the game. But in terms of consistency of effort and application is what you want to see more so. That's why averages don't really count for so much in this format. So I don't see. I see Hetmeyer, if Hetmeyer was to play, which I don't think he'll play at all, is if he was going to bat in the middle. And I don't know where he's going to bat in the middle. Rutherford, that inning that Rutherford played is pretty much sealed his fate from my perspective for the rest of this World Cup.
Joel, Roger Tracy, because you are the one who said that you think West Indies should chase. But Roger Tracy is saying here now that the West Indies don't chase well. It is their Achilles heel. How do you respond to Roger Tracy comment there, Joel?
I could understand what he's saying, but in home conditions, especially conditions that you're familiar with, I think the players will know the Tinusha ground. They will know the angles. They have like how to angle the batter, guide it through here, guide it through there. They will know the conditions of the pitch and the ground conditions as well to where the placement will be a key factor as well too. So that's why I'm saying that with all due respect, I have nothing against batting first.
Okay.
But I said in the home conditions, I think they should.
Basil, Bruder Johnson is watching from what's he saying, Massachusetts, USA. And if
Yeah,
you're not seeing the match, you can join us. We'll be doing a live watch along later. He's saying that he
yeah.
have tried everything. What is your advice for him?
No. He hasn't tried everything. The games are coming over Willow here in the United States. So if he has Willow, he will get it on Willow. I don't know where. Maybe he's been tuning in when the match is over. But if he tunes in on Willow, he will get it. Willow has the rights to the games here in the United States. I've watched all the games on Willow so thus far, including today.
Okay. Thank you very much, Basil. Joel, could you give us your last comment, please, as we look to wrap? We are 6 minutes to the hour, so let's look to wrap now. Give us your last comment, Joel.
Last comment is that I hope I see a good match. We all know that the real business side started today. And something I must point out, the South Africans that I was going on the Cock and Markram in particular were mentioning about how they are more satisfied with the wickets here in the Caribbean than where they were playing before. I know that the pitches have been have come into question. So I expect a high scoring game today. I expect both teams to at least give us at least 150 and we could see a good game. So as I'm looking for an evenly balanced match on a good cricket wicket. Like what we were seeing before in the first round, we have good cricket wicket and a gripping contest.
Basil?
I would echo what Joel is saying. I want to see an exciting cricket match and West Indies come out on the top.
So you have England as a favorite, but you want to see West Indies come
Yeah,
out
I mean,
and top, Basil.
yeah, of course. I mean, I'm being pragmatic. You look, I mean, you look at all the whole context of everything. You have to give England the edge. They're the world champions, defending champions, and so on. They're a high power team. They could match us power to power on their team. You know, it's similar profiles. They got two serious fast bowlers. I mean, Joel just mentioned Mr. Archer, but they got Mr. Wood too, who is a serious fast bowler. The when you come in at 95 miles an hour, you gotta giddy up, right? And Adil Rashid is a tremendous leg break ugly bowler who has always given West Indies problems and he's played against us. So those three bowlers in particular are bowlers that we have to pay close attention to come tonight.
I heard what Basil said, but in my heart of heart, I think West Indies is going to win this match. I do not want it to be exciting. I just want West Indies to effectively and routinely win this match. I cannot take the pressure in tonight's match. I just want to just get it over with. And I hope Ravman Powell have listened to this Indian reporter because I'm going to play it again. Here is what the Indian reporter asked Ravman Powell. Listen.
Do you have a parking spot yet back in Jamaica? Not yet?
Unfortunately, no, I'm not from St. Lucia, but
No, back in Jamaica, I meant.
even
Yeah.
at Sabina Park, I still don't have a parking spot.
You win this World Cup and you'll have one.
That's that's all he needs to do, Basil. That's all he needs to do, Joel. Win
Yeah.
the World Cup, and he will have a fucking spot. That
But,
reporter was spot on, magnificent. Thank you,
but wait.
gentlemen. Go
All
ahead,
right.
Basil. Yeah.
Wait. Powell is not a member of Kingston Club.
No. I think he plays for the University of Melbourne. I think it's the
Oh well,
University he plays.
can't got a parking spot at Kingston
Yeah,
Club.
yes, but all he needs to do is to win the
Well,
World Cup.
well,
And
after
he
he
will get
win,
more than a parking spot.
yes, after he win the World Cup, they will make sure they go against the normal protocol and give a non-member based on being the captain of the World Cup winning West Indies team, and he'll have a spot there.
Thank you all. Thank you all for tuning in. Take care of yourself. Take care of your loved ones. Thank you very much, Joel. Thank you very much, Basil. Have a great evening.
Thank
We'll
you
be back with the watch along at 8:25.
All right.